social media reacts to Morgan Freeman. See, I always loved his name because it was Morgan Freeman. I always saw his name, it was something behind it. Like, okay, free, he's a more, like, more free man. You know what I'm saying? More Freeman. Social media reacts to Morgan Freeman saying he's insulted by the term African American and Black History Month. Uh-oh. Finally, this stuff is becoming mainstream. Well-respected actor Morgan Freeman made some strong remarks in a rare interview. It's sparking mixed reaction online. Now, remember, the term African American is not that has nothing to do with nationality. It's a fake name because Africa is a continent and America is a country. You know, that's like Asian American or European American. You know, Africa is a continent that has many countries. It's supposed to mean a nationality. Oh yeah, like, you know, yeah, African American. You know, yeah, supposedly black people in America. But what country are we talking? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are we Ghanaian American, Nigerian American? Are we Moroccan American? You know what I mean? That's why the term African American is off. It's not a real nationality. And he don't like Black History Month. Let's find out what's going on. Freeman, 85, told Sunday, 2 things I can say publicly that I don't like. Black History Month is an insult. You're going to regulate my history to a month? Oh, man, I love it. Also, African American is an insult. I don't subscribe to that title. Black people have had different titles all the way back to the N-word, and I don't know how these things get so much of a grip. But everyone uses African American. What does it really mean? Most so-called black people in this part of the world are mongrels. And you say Africa as if it's a country when it's a continent like Europe. Thank you, Morgan Freeman. We're descendants of Moroccans born in America, of the Moroccan Empire, not the nation of Morocco. Yes. So, does anybody know where African American came from? There is a gentleman who is alive today who came up with the brand African American. Does anybody know who it is? The person who came up with the brand African American, what's up, Tulu, is Jesse Jackson. That nigga, Jesse Jackson, the Boule member. See, Jesse Jackson, African American term. Yeah, oh, what's up, 13, Pisces? Okay, here's a look at the origin of the term African American. Yep, that it's a new brand. It's a new brand. 34 years ago, a group of black leaders led by Reverend Jesse Jackson announced that black people would like to be called African American instead of blacks. So basically what I'm saying here is, so Morgan Freeman, I'm just reading this right here. It says Morgan Freeman says he's insulted by the term African American. And so as we read, he goes, this shit, he said, I don't know how this name got a grip. Like, what happened? How did this name become so popular? Jesse motherfucking Jackson. That's what happened. Also, African American is an insult. I don't subscribe to that title. Black people have had different titles all the way back to the N-word. And so, you know, but when we look back, it all started at Negro, which is a Spanish word, which means black in Spanish, right? And then Negro, and then it went to nigger, right? And then it went to colored, and then it went to African American. You know what I mean? And now we're back to black. You know what I'm saying? But black is a color, obviously. Black is a color. Black doesn't denote any language. It's To be a black American, the hell does that mean? Afro American, none of that stuff represents a nationality. Um, Let me see. Let me think where my book is. Hold on. Let me get the book because Noble Ali talked about this. Hold on. All right. So I just had this book here. I don't know if I'm gonna find it so fast. Okay. Here's one part. I love my people and desire their unity and mind back to their own free national and divine standard because day by day they had been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. So Noble Drali is saying that these phrases are not only incorrect, but they're unconstitutional. That's big. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabs are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before a constitutional government of the United States of America, then it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. In all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asked for his national descent name, if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, or exiled. Any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principle, because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name, because they place their trust upon the issues and names formed by their forefathers. The word Negro and black delude in Latin language to the word nigger, the same as the word colored deludes to anything that is painted, varnished, or dyed. And every nation must bear a national descent name of their forefathers, because honoring thy father and thy mothers, your days will be lengthened on this earth. These names have never been recognized by any true American citizen of this day. Through your free national name, you are known and recognized by all nations of the earth and that are recognized by national government by which they live. The 14th and 15th Amendments brought to the North and South in unit, placing the Southerners, who were at that time without power, with the constitutional body of power. The free national constitutional law that was in force since 1774 declared all men free and equal. And if all men are declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since that constitution has never been changed, there is no need for the application of the 14th and the 15th Amendment for the salvation of our people and citizens. Wow. Wow. So he's saying there's no need for the 14th and the 15th Amendment. There's no reason. And calling ourselves African American, not only Morgan Freeman says it's an insult, but Prophet Noble Drew Ali says it's unconstitutional. He says if you can't abide to any type of government, you're going to be misused and abused. The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are of one family bearing one free national name. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classified as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. Shit, man. And it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national and constitutional laws of a free national government and cling to the names and principles that delude to slavery. So it's impossible to move past slavery if we're still grabbing onto these words. Okay. And so it says, what should we call him? So this one is it's in the same vein. So this one is written in 1920s. So often various journalists find trouble in selecting the proper name for the Moorish American. Some say Negro. Another will brand him as race man. Still another will call him Afro-American. Some will say colored. Some will say dark American. Some say coon, shine, brethren, and your folks. It is indeed a hard matter to find something suitable for the various occasion where the title needs to be used. Is it that these people do not have a proper name? Did they have a national name when they first brought to these shores of the early part of the 17th century? If so, what was it? Did not the land from which they were forced have a name? It now appears that a good idea for those whose duty is to write in the various journals to find out what the national name of their forefathers of these people were. Also look into the history of the founders of civilization and see who they were and where they stood in building of the present civilization. Probably 2 hours in an up-to-date library will serve to relieve the strain on our men of letters. When the occasion presents itself for a title of these people, the matter of the various names given to the 22 million of people of all colors of every race of the globe was an act of European psychology. They gave him a name and then defined it as something inferior to them. White, they defined that as the color of purity. Black, they say, represents everything of evil. The Negro, as they were called in this nation, have no nation to which they might look with pride. Their history starts with the close of the Civil War, and more properly with this being forced to serve someone else. Thus, he is separated from the illustrious history of his forefathers who were the founders of the first civilization of the Old World. This matter should be looked into with a hope of correcting it. So there you go. That was written by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That was very well put. And I wanted to add that for the record. So, I'm definitely chopping this up and putting it on YouTube about our man Morgan Freeman. Use that as an opportunity to share the words of Noble Drew Ali. Let's go back to the people of today. Let's see what they say. Obviously, they don't, a lot of people are confused. During the interview, the Sunday Times reporter also mentioned Denzel Washington, who once said, "I am very proud to be black, but black is not all I am." Freeman added, "Yes, exactly. I'm in total agreement. You can't define me that way." Social media users have been unpacking his comments, with some people agreeing the entertainer, while some are a little taken back. Because what we're not saying is black is our identity. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, look, TMZ. Look, TMZ, well, they put it out. Morgan Freeman says he's insulted by Black History Month in the term African American in a rare interview. I'm so glad that they're posting this. One Twitter user says it is not rare. Morgan Freeman has expressed his displeasure of Black History Month not being taught as American history in general before that, and African American should be called American. Another added, "I agree with him on the term African American." The third said, "We're Americans, not African or Black." Nice. Americans. "I have the same number of Black, white, and Native American relative. I totally understand what he means." A fourth one on said, I'm sorry, Morgan Freeman, but I disagree. I'm heavy on the African American. I don't want or care to be called American. For what? I love my roots. It's because you're an American citizen and you have rights. You want to vote and you want to have your First Amendment, right? You want to have your First Amendment, your Second Amendment. You want to have all of that. But at the same time, you don't want to be called American. You sound confused. You know what I'm saying? Go back to Africa then if you don't want to be called American. You know what I'm saying? Go to Taiwan or some shit. Like go to Sudan or some crazy ass place. I love my roots in various African countries that make up who I am. I don't care to be associated with them colonizers. You see, that's another thing. You are who you are before these people. You know what I'm saying? We was in America long before the Europeans. It is not rare. Sudan is on fire right now, for real. Damn. Sudan is a jacked up country right now. It is not rare. Morgan Freeman has expressed his displeasure of Black History Month and not being taught as American history in general before the African American should be called American. Tariq Nasheed. I agree with him on the term African American. Morgan Freeman calls Black History Month in African American terms an insult. Okay, Tariq Nasheed, good. Now, 4 days of all out war. Yeah, Sudan is all jacked. Tariq Nasheed, he makes his money by, these issues. And he sat down and talked to many more. So, you know what I'm saying? He knows the game of what names are. And he actually came up with FBA. Tariq Nasheed, this is the man that came up with FBA. FBA. Foundational Black Americans. I wrote an article taking issue with being called African American. It seems like Morgan Freeman agrees. Do they call white people British Americans? God, do I hate the phrase people of color. God, do I hate that shit. So anyway, man, shout out to Morgan Freeman. You know what I'm saying? I know like Morgan Freeman, like I know his name. I know that's a fake name. Like that has to be a fake name. Morgan Freeman. You know what I'm saying? This shit don't even seem like, you know what I mean? It's like a rapper name. Nigga, my name is Morgan Freeman.